Hi everyone, it's Jen. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I am coming on with the project share for Scrap Diva Designs and a tutorial, so I hope you stick around to watch everything. This is going to be using the gingerbread, no, it's called the 3D gingerbread jelly tote. So it comes with all of these different dies. This is part of the October release at scrapdivadesigns.com. I will link this product down below in the description box. I'll also link my referral link. If you place an order through that link, I do get a commission from the sale, which helps me and my channel out. So thank you so much to everybody who uses that. And of course, you could always use my coupon code at checkout, Strawberry Cream, and that will save you 10%. All right, so these are all of the dies, like I mentioned, for the project. And it is simple to put together. There are a bunch of dies, so it might be a little confusing. I did have a request, so thank you so much, Lori, for the request. I try to make the videos that you guys ask for. Sometimes I just can't squeeze them in, but this was definitely one I wanted to share with you. So this is the main part of the tote. So you would cut this out twice. This is the frame of this tote, so you could cut that out to not only add a different paper, but to also stabilize it a little bit. And then this die here is the side, so you cut that out twice as well. There's a frame for that. This is the bottom of the box here, or tote. And there's a layering piece for that as well, which is stitched. There is, I didn't use this, but it's a little like tag that you could add onto the gingerbread guy. And the gingerbread guy is just like a cute little tag, or you can use it as an embellishment. And it comes with the main die and then this like nice thick border die. So let me show you the one that I made. And I made mine, I think there are different ways to put this together depending on how you combine the pieces. And I'll show you how I made mine. So this is the one that I put together first, just to make sure I knew what I was doing before I came on to share a tutorial with you. And I like the way this one came out. It's, like I said, a little bit different than maybe other people make theirs. So I would recommend to use thin paper for the gingerbread layer, for the main layer, just because it's easier for your die cutting machine to cut out all the little pieces, as well as when you're doing the side, you have to curve it a little bit to fit onto the front of the bag. So I find the thinner your paper, the easier it is to fit onto the curve. So that's what I did. I used this thinner red paper. I think it's about 65 pounds. And then for the frame part, this die here, I didn't put it on the front of the tote. I put it on the inside because I thought it was a little bit too busy once I cut it out of this polka dot paper. This polka dot paper is actually from that new Lawn Fawn paper pad I got if you watched my Friday haul last week. So anyway, I used that, and then for the inside of the bag, I wanted it to be, if you make it the way it's made, it's going to be see-through, but I wanted there to be a paper backing. So I'll show you how I did that, and I put that on both sides. I used my Basil, actually no, I used the Hobby Lobby tan paper for that, for the front and the back. And I thought by adding this frame die on the inside, it kind of finished off the edges and just added more stability. For the handle, I used kind of like a brown shimmer paper, and I did that on the front and the back. I left the side see-through just because it would be easier to bend, I thought. And then the little gingerbread guy is so cute. I used that same tan paper and then that shimmery paper for the outside. And then I made a little face myself. I actually used a stamp from Lawn Fawn for the face, but everything else I just drew freehand, and this ribbon I had picked up at Hobby Lobby, I believe. So let me measure this for you, and then we'll make one together. Oh, sorry, gotta reach over. Okay, so this bag measures, well, let's go the widest part. The widest part is about 6 1/8 across, and then top to bottom, including the handle, will be 5 1/4. And then it is, let's measure at the bottom here, the depth is about 1 3/4. So really nice size. If you keep the sides with lighter paper like this, it's easy to like put the handles together, and then I like how it looks when it kind of pops out the side like that. So yeah, that's my little bag. So let's make one together. So I'm going to be using this paper pad for this project. And this came out last year from Michaels. It's called Holiday Brights. I chose this one because it's thinner paper. It says it's 74 pounds. It feels pretty thin to me. I guess that's what 74 pounds feels like, but it feels thinner than 65 pound. But anyway, I cut out all the pieces ahead of time, and I wanted to show you how many I cut out of each. So let's just go from the top of my pile. So I use the handle die here, and I use some, this is shimmer paper from Michaels from a different paper pad. I cut that out twice. Okay, and then these are side panels. I use that paper pad from Michaels, Holiday Brights. And I cut this out twice as well. And it just feels so thin the way it is. Hopefully it'll work okay. I might change my mind in a minute and cut this out of thicker paper. But for now, I cut it out of this. And I also went ahead, oh, hi Millie. Millie's here. I also went ahead and folded all the glue flap lines. The bottom has like a solid piece. Hey, little girl. She's such a cutie. And then the sides have like notch pieces like that, which make it really easy to curve. So 2 of those, and then this is the bottom of the tote bag. I cut 1 of those, obviously, and then for the gingerbread layer, I cut out 2 out of that pretty star paper. And then for the frame die, this one right here, I cut out of some pink basil paper. I cut 2 of those out. And then I cut the layering piece for the bottom out of that paper as well. This is the part that comes out of this die when you're cutting out the frame. And you could use this to back your gingerbread layer. However, it fits like perfectly. So a little bit too perfectly, if you will, because there's really not much space to glue it. I like to glue the outside of it. So what I did was I took this piece, put it on some red cardstock and traced around it. And then I cut out, I left about 1/4 of an inch on each side. And that way that gives you enough space to glue it onto the back of your gingerbread piece. So that's how I made the insert pieces. You could use these if you wanted to. You just have to be really super careful about how you're gluing it. And since it's not cut perfectly, you know, I just kind of did it freehand. That's where the frame that you cut out comes into play, and that'll be on the inside of the bag. Okay, so those are all the pieces we're going to use. So we're going to go ahead and construct it together. I'll give you some tips I found that were helpful when I put the first one together, which is right here. Okay, so first I'm going to glue the backing pieces onto here. You could do it later if you wanted. It's just easier to do now while everything is separate. So I'm going to take my glue, and you can use whatever kind of glue you want. For this, I'm going to use my Nouveau Deluxe adhesive right here. Okay, so I'm just going to go around the edge of my bag, and I'm not going to do anything on the inside. You could if you wanted to. Okay, so there's glue all the way around there. So then you take your red piece here and then just fit it over. And make sure you don't cover that glue flap down at the bottom. You want it still to be able to bend nicely, okay? Probably should move it up a little bit, but I think that'll be fine. Okay. And then wait till the end to put the frame in, because once it's all put together, you can use the frame to cover up the glue tabs from the side, right over here where I'm pointing. So that makes it even extra stronger. And you like my nails? I just I got these from Temu like a year or 2 ago. I just put them on. It's kind of weird that they're facing this way. I would have thought they would have been facing like, you know, upside down, but I guess it's good because when you hold them like this, they look right. Anyway, just a sidebar there. So I'm going to do that for the other piece as well. I'm going to glue the red part onto here. Okay, that one's glued on. So that's what it looks like from the front. So cute, right? It's nice when you use like a light color and then a dark color in the background for contrast, because these little people are very small, so you want to have a lot of contrast so you can see them. Okay, so we did that. And then let's get the bottom piece out. I'm not sure why there are glue tabs or glue flaps on the bottom of the front panel and also on the bottom piece. I just kind of, on that one, I just glued them in both places. Maybe it's just to make them a little extra sturdy, but you really only need one glue tab. Anyway, I'm going to put glue on this. And if you want to, you can use double-sided tape. I'm going to do that for the side pieces because I tried it with, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, that's all right. Wait, let me glue this too. I tried it with using my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to glue, and I get frustrated when I'm trying to bend the side and it keeps popping up because the glue hasn't set yet. I don't know, I just get impatient. I'll show you what I mean in a second, but anyway, let's get this on the right place. So I just glued both glue tabs, this one here and then this one on the inside. It does make it more stable if you have glue tabs on the inside and the outside, but it's not necessary, so I'm not really sure why it's there. Let me get out my bone folder. If you have one, good just to, you know, smooth it down. So let's do that to the other side too. Okay, got the other side glued as well. And then we'll take the sides. And before, you know what, before we do the sides, let's do this. I'm going to put tape onto the glue tabs. And I just discovered something. I don't know if you do this or not, but I just figured it out for my own self, which is probably, you know, later than most people would. But usually what I would do is put my tape on the glue tabs. Let's do that. I'm using just this tape that kind of fits. It is, if you want to know how much it is, must be millimeters. It's about 5 millimeter inch thick. Not 5 millimeter inch, 5 millimeters thick. Oh, sorry. Anyway, I put this on the tabs. Sorry for that cut on my finger. I wanted to put a Band-Aid on, but then I wouldn't be able to do this correctly. Anyway, so putting the tape on here, and I used to go ahead and, after I did this, cut all the notches out. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'll put this down, hang on. Okay, I'll get my scissors. All right, so I would cut out all these little V's, and then I realized I really don't need to do that. I could just put it on the way it is. It'll still bend nicely, so I'm just leaving it like that, and that saves a lot of time. If you want to use wet glue, like I said, you can do that. That works. It works really well actually once it's all dry, because it's you know, it's not going anywhere if you use like your Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. But I get frustrated when I'm trying to bend it and it keeps moving. So I'm just going to do that for both sides. All right, so I've got tape on all the 4 sides. All right, let's just smooth that down, make sure it's sticking everywhere. All right, let me get out my pokey tool. And then we're going to glue the sides onto the bottom of our bag, just like we did for the front and back. So glue goes under here. Okay, there's one. Let's do the other one. All right, so there is our tote bag, nice and flat. Let's put the layering piece of the bottom on first. It'll be easier to close it up. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. You could do it afterwards. It's not that bad, but I'm just gonna do it now. Okay. Put this down. Okay, so this is how we're going to add or put the glue tabs onto the side. So peel off your tape, the top layer, and so it's all sticky. And then it's just, it's going to take a little finessing. Don't try and rush it too much, but start at the bottom, okay? And then press it. Let's see, make sure it's focusing here. Okay. So you press it each one notch at a time. And use your thumb. I'm using my left thumb here to help push it up. So I'm pressing from the top and the bottom. Just take your time. If you need to, you can move it a little bit before before you press it too hard. So this is where I was having a hard time with the wet glue because it's kind of a decent curve here. So every time I would have one notch done, then when I was trying to do the other one, this one would pop out and it was just driving me nuts. So I figured, you know what, let me try it with the double-sided tape. So I did it like half and half on the one that I showed you that I did already, and it's just so much easier with the tape. See how easy that is? So much less frustration. I could have been a little bit closer to the edge, but it's fine. And then take your bone folder, just go over the glue tabs to press them down, and then we'll do the same thing. I'm going to start with the other side of the front of the bag. So same exact thing. Okay, just go slow. And that tape I had gotten from Alina Cuddle a long time ago, and I'm really running out, as you could see, that particular width. I think I have other brands the same width in my stash. I'll have to look. But I do like this tape. Okay, that one came out really nice, see? Right, and then we'll go in, smooth that down, get rid of those guys. And then you do the other two. And see what I mean about leaving the tape there? It still bends fine. I mean, it might be a little sticky on the inside, but we're going to cover that up anyway, so it's all good. Okay, and then sometimes you just got to keep flipping it over to see which way you want to do it. Okay, let's go with this. Press it with your thumb that's on the inside. And because it's thin paper, it bends so easily. If you do use thicker paper for the side, just make sure to condition the paper before you start doing this, and just kind of go over it with what I would do is take one of these things and just kind of round the paper. Let's see, let me show you one like this. Say this was my side, I would keep going like this to just condition the paper and to bend it a little bit like that, and that'll make it a lot easier to stick your curves. All right, so let's do the last one. Let's focus here. Okay, got that one done. All right, so let's go ahead and put the frame on the inside. So these are our frames, and see how the glue tab, you can see the glue tabs there? We're going to cover those up. So you're going to put glue all around the frame on the inside and then just slide it into place. Now for this one, let's see, should I use, I forget what I used. Yeah, I used my Beacon 3-in-1 glue for this just because it gives it a little bit more dry time. And if you need to move it around a little bit, you can do that. So I'm going to put glue all around. Okay, so there's glue on the inside of that one. And you just pop it in. And I find the most important thing is to line up the handles, and that'll make everything else go into place. So line up the handles, press them together, and then you can go and press everything else together. Now this is an extra step with that inside panel, but it's just a good way to do it, I think. Okay, that looks pretty good. See the inside there? Looks like I gotta burnish that. All right, I'm just gonna do the same thing to the next one. I just put glue on the other frame and I just dropped it in. I'm gonna press it to glue together. I love this little mini bone folder. I think I got it in a Tuesday morning back in the day, but it's really good to get into tight spaces like this. If you don't have a bone folder, just use your hands, a little card, whatever, you know, you can get into a smaller space to press everything down. Okay, so that's what the inside looks like and the outside. The bottom, cute, right? All right. Oh, forgot the handles. Let's do that. Totally forgot. So these are just like a little finishing piece. Again, add some stability to your bag. Now this one has a little bit of a, it doesn't cover it all the way, but I think that's intentional. Or it's supposed to go just over the frame part, but I think it looks cute like that. So I put the other handle on, so both handles are there. Really super cute. I picked out this ribbon to tie a bow, just like we did on the, or just like I did on the first one. This was from Joann's last year, but it's very similar to the one I used from Hobby Lobby. So I'm going to tie a bow. There's that bow. All right, now let's get our gingerbread guide together. So I have the background cut out of the tan paper. Here we have the frame. So I'm just going to glue this on, and then I'm going to stamp a little face and draw in the rest. And we'll almost be done. So I like to put the frame on first so I know where the face should go. And you don't have to add a face, or, you know, it looks cute just like this. But I don't know. He looks like he needs a little face. So I looked through my faces, and I have on this stamp set from Lawn Fawn, it's called Berry Special. There's that tiny little face there, and that's the one I used on this gingerbread guy. So I'm going to use that again. And I'm going to use my Memento Tuxedo Black ink and a little acrylic block for my stamp. You can use the stamp press if you want. This is so tiny I don't think it really needs it, but it's up to you. Okay, so just put some ink on there, like that. All right, now I'm gonna have to get up close to do this. And you just want to center it. Press it down. Okay, it's a little off center, but I really was doing it from far away. So, okay, cute enough. Let's get our gel pens out, finish up this little friend. And I'm going to get out my number 10 Jelly Roll pen, the white one, if I can find it. Okay, so I like to use this thicker one to do the icing. So I'm going to add icing. I'll try and remember to zoom in post-production. My fancy editing. Just kidding. Let's see. Just do, you know, a little freehand. And then I did one on the other one on his head, or her head. Hopefully that looks okay. And then you could take like a pink one or a red one and add some cheeks. And you don't have to use gel pen. You can use colored pencils. You can use whatever you want to color him up. And maybe we'll add, should we do, just thinking, I have this like aqua-y color. Let's try and do that. Let me do a test, see how it looks. Yeah. Okay, so to do a straight line of them, I like to do the first one in the middle. Not a straight line, but like an even spacing between them. Then the top, then the bottom. There. Oh, that looks so cute, right? Okay, so then I'm just going to glue this into place. It'll need some drying time. Actually, this is way too big. The tails. Cut that off a little. Okay, so I'm just going to glue that here. And Fabri-Tac would be good for this. This works fine though, the Beacon 3-in-1. I'm going to put glue on there as well. Just hold that while I move that a little bit. Well, that looks so cute, doesn't it? Oh, I love it. Love it. And then I'm just going to glue this guy right on top of the little knot. If you want to add like a thing of charms, you could do that. Sentiment on here would be so nice. You know, like if you put something here, I might do that later actually. But for now, this is just the embellishment that came with it, which is the little gingerbread guy. And it looks cute. What do you think? Do you like what we made? I love it a lot. So that's my little tutorial for today. Thanks again, Lori, for the request. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be back soon with more crafty videos. Again, this gingerbread tote will be linked down below in the description box. Sorry, coughing. As well as my referral link and my coupon code Strawberry Cream. Save yourself 10%. Woof, a lot of coughing there. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like this video if you did, and please subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Thanks for returning if you've come back. And I'll see you on another crafty video. Until then, have a great day. Bye, guys.